disgusting and an unjust verdict by an all-white jury who found 5 black ex-Memphis police officers not guilty and were acquitted of state charges in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols. Tyrone Bowman live. Let's get this conversation started. Video is courtesy of Indisputable with Dr. Richey. I want you to listen to this carefully. I'll be back with commentary in a few moments.
Yeah, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. The cops, the 3 former Memphis police officers who killed a man during a traffic stop, they have now been found not guilty. They have been acquitted in the Tyre Nichols case. I'm going to remind you, here it is, and I'll bring you an update.
Caution.
Once again, this is a breaking story. We are getting information in real time. Put up the picture for mask. We covered this from day one. 3 former Memphis officers acquitted now in fatal beating of Tyre Nichols after a traffic stop. The Associated Press reports that 3 former Memphis officers were acquitted Wednesday of state charges, including second-degree murder and the fatal beating of Mr. Tyre Nichols after he ran away from a traffic stop, according to their narrative. A jury, which appeared to be all white, took about 8.5 hours over 2 days to find Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justice Smith not guilty on all charges after a 9-day trial in the state court of Memphis. The 3 defendants still face years, possibly, in prison after they were convicted of federal charges last year, though they were acquitted of the most serious charges then too. The officers had been charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. As I said, this is still a breaking story. We're getting information in real time. It's unconscionable, in my opinion. Not only did they engage in significant criminal misconduct, but they also engaged in significant cover-up of said criminal misconduct. Cover-up is typically evidence of a guilty conscience, especially if you are a member of law enforcement where all the cards are on your side as far as the narrative is concerned. If you're a police officer and you claim you were in fear for your life, you damn near get away with almost anything in a judicial system. But cover-up happened, and the cover-up was extreme. And then we find elements of corruption just by looking under the hood of that operation for a moment. All of this corruption starts to be exposed. But they have been acquitted by a jury. But once again, they were convicted in a federal case, but the most serious charges they were not convicted of, but they still could face many years in prison given the sentence forthcoming in that federal case. All right, Jackson, thoughts here?
I mean, even though they still could face many years, this is just further proof of when you have a police badge, you have a license to hurt people in public. Yeah. I mean, it just really is, because what kind of an argument is there for this these guys did this because they made them feel big, made them feel bad, made them feel powerful. We see it over and over and over again. But at least there's some chance for them to get some years. But, the system's fighting real hard to let them off.
Yeah. We'll bring you updates as updates come.
Now, let me put this into perspective. There are hundreds of thousands law enforcement officers who are decent, upright, ethically sound, their morals are impeccable, and they are doing an incredible job. They're upholding the code of ethics, they're abiding by the sworn oath, and they're doing everything by the book. They don't get the credit for the work that they do. They're oftentimes ignored, overlooked, punished for their honesty and integrity. But these corrupt cops, like these 5 black cops, I don't care if they are black, it was outright murder what they did. Then they lied. They covered it up. They murdered him and didn't give a damn about the consequences. And an all-white jury found them not guilty. One reason why I decided to become an attorney is for this reason and this reason only. When you've suffered injustice like I have, and you've been a part of this criminal justice system, and you've seen lying prosecutors, district attorneys, and lying cops fabricate just to get a conviction despite the evidence that pointed to the contrary, that I was innocent from the very beginning, but they didn't give a damn because they wanted that conviction. But what they didn't count on, I studied law when I was in prison. And I made up my mind, and I decided then and there that I was going to become a lawyer and fight for those who can't fight for themselves and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves and advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. And if I ever become a judge sitting on the bench by the grace of God, and some corrupt cops come before me, they'll find no mercy in the court. Because when you are a corrupt cop, you are a disgrace to yourself, to your family, to your friends, and to your associates, and there's no justification. There are too many corrupt movies about corrupt cops that are made. If you don't believe me, watch a movie called Witness for the prosecution. And take a look at the movie called Law Abiding Citizen. Just because they were found not guilty of state charges does not make them innocent. They're still guilty. And for the record, I've seen a lot of stuff that I won't even talk about in front of this camera. And I know for a fact that people will lie to save their behinds. I don't have no empathy and no sympathy for these 5 black, corrupt, lying, perjuring, murdering ex-cops. And for the Nichols family, sue everything, everyone, and everybody. Never surrender. Never quit.